Alright everybody, welcome back to your 22nd Google Chrome extension development tutorial, and I've made this tutorial to summarize and cover up whatever we have done so far in this rich Twitter Notifier extension. So let's start from the very basic we did. So first of all, to create this extension, what we did is we gathered some information, some necessary information required to make this extension. For example, we need the user to be logged in to site manually every time for this plugin to work. Then we need the we need to launch an Ajax request to the notifications of Twitter. We need to grab the data. We need to filter out all the data and just get the headers and required stuff. And then finally, what we need to do is we need to display a rich notification if there's any update or notification in the account. So to start with, we created a function engine which we are calling on the regular basis of 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds this function would fire up again, and this is located in background page so that it does not require any user interactivity, and it would just run itself again and again. And we have specified the page as background.html, and background.html has got these two files ready for us, and the jQuery one to work with jQuery here. So here what we are doing is, first of all, we are grabbing all the HTML with a get request in Ajax, and get would simply ask for the HTML contents, and we are grabbing the data as the asynchronous request, and we are getting the HTML data in data. Then we are creating a new variable with $sign that doesn't actually mean any jQuery stuff, but you can actually name variables in JavaScript with $sign as well, starting with $sign as well. So data is HTML data.find stream items ID, and the stream items ID, let me open my Twitter account, so that would make much more sense. And if you look here, then the stream items ID right here in the view source, or let's open this in the inspect element itself. So here we have our DOM tree, and this stream items ID is nothing but a ordered list of all of your Twitter notifications which are loaded by default on this URL. So we are getting stream items ID dot eq0 means that get only the first instance of this run, because Twitter is using this same ID 2 times, so we have to use eq0 for that. Otherwise jQuery would return the object of this as two objects, sorry. And then we are doing data.find activity truncated tweet dot remove, and here what we are doing is simply we are just removing unnecessary data we have in the data variable. Then we are appending data to the body, and actually we don't need it now on the production plugin. So now we are initiating a loop for I equals 0, I is less than data dot find the tweets length dot li dot stream. If you see here, then each li has got stream item as class, and we are using stream item here. So we are actually just looping over to the number of tweets available, and then we are assigning each of them an ID, and we are grabbing each of them a message of that particular thing. So then we are having latest ID as a variable declared on the top, and it might look like that this latest ID would always be undefined, obviously, because we are not defining it anywhere here. So on the first run we are comparing if latest ID is equal to ID 0, which is the first element of the ID we have assigned to the first tweet, and obviously this would not this would return, this condition is false on the first run, so it would, on the first run, it would automatically go to else if latest ID is undefined, and yes, that's true. Then we are just creating a first run, and we are doing type basic, title Twitter notifier, and you could actually create a similar one like the context message and the buttons. I'll just copy and paste here. And Twitter notifier, we have got open notification, that's it. And we can also copy this on button clicked. So on button clicked notifications, instead of here we can create let me see. Alright, so on this notifier, whenever this is clicked, this notifications would be opened, and then we have got Chrome notifications create first one, which would just send the instructions to Chrome to create this notification box. Then we are assigning latest ID with the ID 0, which we grabbed here. So else if latest ID is not equal to ID 0, now this is something different from undefined. That means that latest ID is already defined, but it's not equal to ID 0. So in this case, what we conclude from this is that there is some new activity on user's account. So for that, we already have our old ID's latest ID, and with that we can loop over again and again unless we encounter this ID. So we are kinda in this loop finding all the new notifications happened for the user in 20,000 milliseconds, and 20,000 milliseconds because this is our set interval loop. So now we are saying if latest ID is encountered, then break out of the code, else if message j is not equal to empty, then append this to it. And we are just using this if conditional because in some of the notifications like this one, we don't have any header. For example, in this we have got Mehul favorite your tweets as the header, but in this one we don't have any header. So in most of the cases you would get an header, but some would have no header attached to them, so there's no point in sending a blank notification to the user. So again we are applying the latest ID, ID 0, so that we keep our extension updated. Now in new tweets we are appending all the new tweets which happen over and over again with the user. Now we are down here saying if new tweets.length is equal to 0, that means there was no activity, then do nothing. Else if it has got some new tweets, then launch a loop, create some variable, create a button, show the message which is inside the new tweets, title, icon, self-explanatory code, then create your tweet, then console log. This is just the debugging purpose and we can still remove it. Alright, so let's reload our extension for one final time and let's see how it works. So I have reloaded this, and on the first one we get this right here. So you may like to check your Twitter account for latest notifications. Alright, let's check this out, and yeah, it opens our link here. And eventually I forgot my dummy account password, so I won't be able to show you in working, but if you go back to my last tutorial, I'm showing a lot of examples of this working extension. So I hope you understood how this extension is finally working. The core of the file is this background.js file and nothing else here. All of this is just what do you say, is just a skeleton type, but this is the magical thing happening. So that's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you then. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.